Lunarbits made history in February of 2024 as a private project landed the first time capsule in history to land on the moon. And this time capsule payload was curated by a private company called Space Blue and launched atop a SpaceX rocket and had art, content, and other digital projects, including the Lunarbits named digital assets. So with me is Eric Dallas Tanner, the CEO. And so I guess when they see to the moon, you actually did that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Whenever we say Bitcoin to the moon, the president said it last year at the Bitcoin conference. And my friends pointed and said, yeah, it's already up there.
So how hard was that to do?
For me personally, it was one of the hardest things in my entire life. It took years. There were many, many delays. This was the very first payload or mission for the United States and NASA since 1972. And with all of the ambitions that we had with technology, innovation, blockchain, crypto, we wanted to be really careful. So there was a lot of things we had to do that required us to be really careful.
So I mentioned some digital assets are still on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Can people access them? What kind of tech is there that allows you to do something like that?
Well, the idea behind the payload was we have 77,000 digitized and inscribed onto metallic disk artifacts up there. So we also have a copy here. And with blockchain technology, we're able to take those inscriptions and inscribe them onto Bitcoin. So that was the whole strategy, and that was the whole plan behind this mission, was to be able to have that opportunity.
So the Lunarbits are made out of Bitcoin?
Yes, they are.
And how is that possible?
Well, good fortune, great innovators in this industry, Jane, last year developed a technology only about 14 months ago, and they took the Bitcoin network, and then they created a protocol that allows a token, which, by the way, is going to be used for stocks too. It's about to be used for stocks. And this is built on top of Bitcoin. We were one of the first companies to start innovating on this. We put the missions that we were sending to the moon into this technology, and we're going to be using it quite a bit.
And now let's bring in Brandy Vale, who is one of the founding voices and vision holders of Luna Prize, the strategic advisor, storyteller, a woman who is art-centered and on mental health and wellness, and now lives on the moon. What? Is this true?
It's literally a dream come true. I mean, we talk about having visions of going to the moon or in our dreams being there, but we've done it. So this is definitely exciting for people all around the world to see that if you can dream it, you can be it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible. So tell me about your role then in this, putting the time capsule on the moon.
Thank you for being here and inviting me into this story. So we are one of those voices of the next generation. And so my role is as a visionary holder of the Luna Prize. And I'm a strategic advisor. I'm one of the storytellers of our time. And we have now landed onto the moon. Being a part of this mission has been, it's one of those moments where you get to pioneer a project. And so I am one of the founding members.
Yeah. So now were you there at the launch of the SpaceX Falcon 9 at Kennedy Space Center when it did go to the moon?
Yes, absolutely. So I was there. I witnessed the entire launch when we were part of the Luna Prize time capsule, which was aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 at the Kennedy Space Center. We had a range of people who were there with us that supported this mission. And if I told you some of the names, they would just mind blow the audience. So may I share it?
Sure.
Okay, so it was once in a lifetime opportunity with Lorenzo Medici, if you know the Medici family, if you've heard of them.
The banking
And
family?
yeah, and Nova Spavik and Scott Page of Pink Floyd, along with many other pioneers in this blockchain space. So yes, I was there. I was one of the active artists and participants, and it was a night to remember. I mean, I thought for sure that this space launch wasn't going to happen, and it happened on the exact date that we meant it to happen.
Oh, how cool. So now explain like the purpose of this and the community that you're trying to build with Lunarbits.
So Lunarbits is a native project. It is the beginning of how we actually tie community together. You know, if you're paying attention to Bitcoin, you understand that there's utility, there's security, and we understand that we're moving into a new era. And so the purpose behind our token is to bring community projects to the forefront of what we're doing as creators. A lot of these kind of meme coins and, just a lot of talk of utility, it's not true. But our token is a true utility that allows us to move crypto led with the power and proof behind our purpose. So we have a long-term value. Each one of the artists understand that we're not stopping. We get to continue to create. And then from that, we evolve the digital asset. And of course, the value of that asset goes up because it's tied to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it's tied to, let's just imagine a timestamp being on the moon. Technology is ever changing. So imagine having a time capsule that allows us to be able to prove that we have the assets there along the side of Bitcoin. So the value is, I can't even announce how valuable that is to artists and, of course, history and legacy projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what was the reaction among the artists and people in the crypto industry?
It's one of those things that we're investors. I'll just simply say we invest in our projects and we invest wisely and we're committed. So the reaction, not only as investors and creators, was that we're in this together and we're going to prove a marketplace as pioneers. And we did it. We were able to do it. And I have to commend my partner and, of course, mentor. He was a major mentor in my life, which is Dallas Santana. He is a pioneer of our time. He's a visionary and he is stuck to the program and he is not straight away. He said, Brandy, I'm going to go all in. Our early conversations were, are you really doing this? And he said, yes, I'm all in. Everything else gets to wait. And so he is leading the next generation of education. He's leading, well, we are leading, right? As women and men coming together, we are leading the next evolution of education and experiential events and community growing and fostering a new type of finance. That's really at the core of the model is understanding this 3.0 finance.
Well, and that's, yeah, kind of, how crypto is seen. One of the ways, of fintech. So how can people, Brandy, find out about this, get involved, learn more about the project?
Yeah. So we're at the very beginning. And so it's not too late. Most people will ask, oh, is it too late to get involved? And I say no, because one of the prize pieces to this puzzle is the multiverse that we've created. And so it's a multiverse platform. It is a Web3 powered platform. You get to experience the art. You get to meet the artist. You get to actually go in there and ask questions, have your investment be able to be seen. So I'm spearheading a lot of these events along with Dallas and the 222 artists that are on this moon mission. You can go to the website, you can learn and get involved there. And you can also start to co-create with us. It's, like I said, not too late. Co-creation, collaboration. If you're an artist, if you're a creator, if you have legacy projects, please absolutely get in touch with us. And make sure you come and say hello at our live events all over the world.
Okay. And I guess you can go to the website and find out where those live events are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Brandy, awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the Lunarbits story. Well, I wanted to ask you about the tokenization because we've heard Robinhood, I think, was tokenizing stocks. And where is that? Do you feel like that is what we'll see in the future?
Absolutely. In a big way, changes are coming really rapidly to Wall Street. I work with a number of companies here on Wall Street, and we're working right now on projects so that this Bitcoin technology and this Lunarbits technology can be used specifically to create shares, not digital shares, but tokenized shares. We have some of our first projects coming up.
Do you use this with other assets as well, like real estate?
Real estate, real world assets is the name of the game. So with the stuff that we sent to the moon, the 77,000 artifacts, some of it's very old paintings and art history going back thousands of years, hundreds of years from the Renaissance era. And some of it is music files of really rare music from legends like Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin. That's put on there. So these are real world assets. Even an entire music catalog with Lunar Records is being put onto this technology as well. So real estate as well, not necessarily our sector that we're getting into so much. We're more involved in content and media and art, but definitely that's going to be a big opportunity.
Do you have partnerships with music companies, musicians? If so, what are those?
That's a very good question. So Billboard and Rolling Stones did an article about what we accomplished. We took the very first music catalog and we put it up on the moon. It's named Lunar Records. And it has super rare songs sitting inside of this catalog that go back, to the 1960s and the 1950s, and songs that have never been released by Marvin Gaye, songs that have never been released by Jimi Hendrix are sitting up on the moon. So this is a music catalog in a partnership called Lunar Records, which we are joint partners together with. And that's part of a public company, a whole nother story. But yes, we have lots of plans to continue with music digitization.
How did you, being somebody who's in this industry, how do you see the tokenization, digital assets? Where are we going with this, would you say, in the next generation?
Well, Jane, I decided to be what's called a Bitcoin maxi. And the reason for that, the reason why I went down this path with direction with our project was because Bitcoin was the first thing that the United States and the SEC said, it's not a security. You probably remember this.
Remember all that discussion.
And with being involved with projects with NASA and SpaceX, we had to go down a very narrow line to not have any controversies. We felt that Bitcoin was going to be the least controversial. Well, we bet right. We made the best bet on Bitcoin.
When was that?
That was when the legislation came out. We were planning the project, and we had lots of people that were coming to us with potential projects to put on the moon. And I made the decision, we're going with Bitcoin. Once the government of the United States said, it's not a security and it's a commodity, I said, it looks like we're going to go places. Then the new administration that we have right now, obviously all the things that happened. So it was the perfect storm for us. So we're building on Bitcoin. All of our projects are going to be built on Bitcoin for foreseeable future.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely fascinating to watch how this has all changed over the past. I mean, I've only been watching for 7 years. I know some people have been watching a lot longer. So Dallas, thank you so much for coming and explain.
Yes, thank you too. I appreciate that.